What's up, family? It's your man, Mark Black. I did a pretty controversial commentary about the need for proactive defense of our Black selves and the Black collective recently. That commentary was driven by the appointment of the arch traitor David Clarke to the Department of Homeland Security. Since that video, we subsequently saw the acquittal of Tulsa police officer Betty Shelby in the murder of Terrence Crutcher. It is my fervent hope that we are beginning to see that the justice we receive for wrongs committed against us will be the justice we take from the pale people. However, this commentary is not about that. I want to address an idea that seems to pop up from time to time when things like this happen. No matter how many situations where we are beaten, murdered, maligned, or otherwise harmed, when you begin to review the comments on videos or on social media, you'll inevitably run across a comment that mentions the need for us to start, support, and maintain our own businesses. Now, I'll be the first to agree with those statements, and I wholeheartedly support Black people becoming entrepreneurs. That said, these individuals rarely advocate for us becoming an entrepreneurial nation and fighting the pale people. They never suggest that those of us who advocate hostilities with the pale people are correct, and that developing the means to acquire capital will be an adjunct to a greater war effort. In point of fact, they mostly denigrate those of us who demand that we fight against the pale people using arms or whatever means we can use. Here is a common example of just what I'm referring to. Notice the emphasis upon discounting the, quote, fight back people, unquote, before espousing Black capitalism. Well, I'm here to tell you today that not only will Black capitalism fail to ensure our freedom, it alone becomes a trap and a key to our further subjugation. As usual, I will provide you evidence and allow you to decide for yourselves what is the truth. In the description box below, you'll find a link to a report done by the mostly pale liberal organization called the Institute for Policy Studies. They are a think tank based in Washington, D.C., and have had support from the usual panoply of pale and Ashkenazi Jewish liberal luminaries. In August 2016, they released a report called The Ever-Growing Gap that details the wealth gap between Black, Latino, and pale families. You can feel free to ignore the solutions in the report, as it's just more of the same stuff like begging the government to change laws, policies, and other reformist claptrap. The salient and important stuff to pay attention to is the data, as always. According to this report, at the current rates of growth, Black people would need 228 years of our current economic growth to reach the levels of wealth that the pale people have. Isn't this coincidentally just a few years short of the length of time we spent enslaved here? We've spent 246 years being enslaved here in the United States, from 1619 to 1865. Now, mind you, this report doesn't take into account the progressive theft of our wealth under the convict leasing system, periodic destruction of Black lives and capital in places like Greenwood and Rosewood under Jim Crow, or the continued theft of our labor, resources, and intellectual property today under the mass incarceration system, underemployment, or the use of our credit ratings to deny us housing, employment, transportation, and other necessities. As you'll quickly see, even if we devote every single penny to capitalist investment and wealth acquisition, it would take us centuries even to reach the levels that pale people are today. We lost the capitalism battle a long time ago and are too goddamn stubborn to admit it. Please understand, family, I'm not saying that we should not develop businesses and support those that members of the Black collective own and control. What I am saying is that it is clear that this is and will never be the solution to our problem. The issue is that we lack enough capital to play the game to win. So what are some real solutions that don't require reforming a system that is rigged to benefit the pale people at our expense, or hoping that somehow their wealth decreases while ours grows? Well, the answer is simple. We start businesses and fight the pale people. Just as they captured us and our resources, we will have to take back what was stolen from us. This system has reached some hard limits, and there is nearly nothing left for them to steal to continue to prop it up. My black capitalist brothers and sisters forget that possession is tantamount to ownership, and buying nearly useless shit with increasingly worthless money is only throwing more time, labor, and resources down the same endless hole that we, along with the current system, is falling into. Should we be buying and saving what we can at the cheapest prices we're able to get? Absolutely. However, we also need to be taking back as much as we can without concerning ourselves with the so-called legal claims of ownership on those resources and be willing to fight to keep them, just as the Pale people did. Don't forget American History 101, family, because we will not escape the necessity of doing the same thing if we want to ensure our ability to continue to live here when the American Empire has collapsed and Fortress America is no more. American History 101 is as follows. They came on the land, said prayers, planted their flags, and picked up their guns and plows. This is what they did, and it will be what we have to do. We actually have to do more than that. We not only need to take back what was stolen from us, we also need to work to destroy resources that they are able to use against us. When it comes to the Pale people, Black people need to practice a scorched earth policy. If we can't have it, neither will you. If we can't take it from them, we destroy it. From apartment buildings to cell phone towers, from hydroelectric dams to freeway overpasses, there is a whole host of infrastructure items that they require in order to continue to live comfortably ensconced in whiteism. We have to hinder, harm, and destroy that infrastructure while finding and practicing ways to live without those things. If we can't travel safely upon the roadways, then there will be no roadways for anyone to travel upon. If we cannot communicate securely, privately, and safely, then no one will be able to communicate at all. If wholesome, healthy food isn't available to our neighborhoods and cities, then no one will eat. Before you all tuck tail, run, and hide from this obviously crazy idea, understand that a Black man with a broom and a 32-tooth smile can get in damn nearly anywhere, and they don't have enough police or military to truly stop 43 million committed Black people from weakening key infrastructure that not only hits the Pale people's bottom line, it hits them right in the lifestyle. The very day that it costs Pale people more to maintain whiteism than they are willing to pay, the war is over. They will have to fall back, and we will have gained a key win in the struggle for our freedom. In conclusion, while Black capitalism sounds alluring and could help lift our self-esteem, it is a siren song that, if we are not careful, will cause us to crash upon the rocks. As a part of a transitional short-term tactic to shore up our weak areas and get us started with coming together as a collective, I advocate it fully. However, to those of you who believe that it is the golden key to unlock the door to our liberation, I beg you to understand that, simply put, we lost the battle of capitalism ages ago, and the only route to victory for us is to take back what is owed us. You can be afraid to fight, disgusted by the need to fight, or whatever it is you feel. The math doesn't care about your feelings. Reality doesn't care about your feelings. We must fight and take what will not be given, and to the extent that we dismiss the necessity of this, we will continue to delay the day when we can walk away from these devils as free people. This is your man, Mark Black. Until the next time, love, peace, prosperity, and power. Real power to our people.